Good evening. Welcome to the Elusive Tide, episode 8.
Some.
Episode 8. Yes, so we were deep within a fight, or about to fight, I believe. So I will hand you over without further ado to our Pirate Master Jay. Take it away.
Okay. So, last we left off, you had landed on this island that attempted to make you land on it as it rose from the ocean depths. And you had made your way through, past some water elementals, and found a series of pillars and strange statue that looked very reminiscent of Lac. As you continued, you found stone buildings and the skeletal remains of some very large people, and the not quite dead remains of some cultists that rose up and attacked you with a couple of them having these white leeches burst out of their chests at you. Though you dispatched them very easily and watched as the stone golems moved to guard a bridge leading to a large stone building in the center of the lagoon on this island. You explored some more and found some more magical runestones, like the one that was completely dead earlier, and dispelled and destroyed them. You also found some interesting treasure, I believe. Let me just check my list. Yeah, you found some +1 weapons, some gems, a cloak, and a necklace. And you continued north, searching out the last runestone, which you found in a tower with a different architectural style and a lot of very angry books flapping around and attacking you. So, we're going to go into the fight. The initiative order is Balkin, Phineas, Klein, Corentine, Kirken, me, Lack, Aldris, me, Eyeless. So, we'll go from the top of the round. Balkin, you're up with Phineas preparing.
Okay, what can I see from here?
So, from where you are currently, you've got a wall of rock between you. Everyone's been climbing up the rocks. They're probably about 10 to 15 feet high, though is some rockfall here that's only about 5 feet high. So you will have to climb up if you wish to get to them.
Okay, well, I'm not very good at climbing because I'm a tortoise, and the more hands, the better. So I'm going to wild shape into an octopus and try and climb away.
I knew that
Okay. You wild shape into your octopus form.
I can hold my breath for an hour as an octopus because I checked.
Let me just.
I can only move 10 feet though as an octopus.
I'll be over by the time you get there.
So you should be able to move your token as you wish.
So probably just like here.
Yeah, so you just squelch past Aldris.
Can I use an action to dash?
Yeah.
Because it's bonus action to wild shape for me.
Yep. Yeah,
so I'll move another 10 feet up.
Yep, and I'm just going to check the stats on the octopus, though I imagine I'd probably be fine with you just climbing. It's not really going to be super difficult for you with all your tentacles. So 13. You can climb with no penalty.
I don't think it's tested very much, to be honest, an octopus climbing. So.
We should.
Well, based on...
if I can...
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, if I can use my dash movement to sort of get to the top of that sort of rock.
Yep, you can dash up to the top of the rock and you can see all these small little books just kind of flapping in the air, glowing with magic.
Okay, and I'll use 4 of my tentacles to wave at my colleagues.
Okay.
So,
that's Vulcan's turn. Next up is Phineas with Klein preparing.
Okay, I'm going to have a bit of a... I thought that would do it. I will then grab my tentacle.
Okay.
make my
Watery tentacle rises up between the stone.
motion, and this watery little thing pops up, and it's just going to lash out at one of the books. As then,
Which one are you lashing out at?
the one to the right of it.
One to the right of it. Okay, wonderful. Roll to hit.
Oh yeah, there you are. It's a good start. 27
That definitely hits. Roll damage.
and 10 points of cold damage.
10 points of cold damage. The pages are looking quite soggy on that one. Not looking happy. As a book could look.
I will then, because that's my bonus action, I'll stay where I am because I don't think anyone's coming back through that alleyway that I've sort of shimmied through.
There's an octopus climbing up the cliff behind you.
You didn't move your other 10 feet down, Pete.
Yeah, I've just moved him.
Yeah, can I squeeze a shot through?
This wall is only about 5 foot high, and you're about 5 foot up.
Okay, fine.
On the rocks.
I will take 2 shots with my Eldritch Blast then.
Okay, which ones are you shooting?
Let's go for. Wait, not the wrong thing. That one there that was just measuring 2.
Yep.
And that one there.
Okay. Roll your attacks.
First is an 18.
Yep, that hits.
And that's, terrible. 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. That book has been moved to damages.
Ooh. Oh, that got caught by the shatter. Excellent. And the next one, it's 23 to hit. And that one gets 8 points.
Very nice. Just tidying up a couple that I forgot to move. There we go. That's all. There we go. Anything else from you, Phineas?
No, I'll just say, right, let's clean these books up and do what we need to.
Okay. Klein, you're up with quarantine preparing.
Yeah. I will probably just move over. You said this class is as difficult terrain, yeah? So
only for climbing up. You're now kind of on top of these rocky cliffs, so it's not that difficult to move.
Okay, well, I can definitely make it to there with my movement.
Yeah.
And I'll just turn over and be like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Tentacle," and then take a swipe at the one where the tentacle is.
Okay. Roll your attack.
And yeah, I'm going to do it with my trident. Because obviously there are books flying about. But before that, what I will do though is Rage.
Oh, you remember?
Nice taste.
And
with this meal, sir, I suggest a little Rage.
And also with that, the book within 10 feet, I gain a storm aura around me.
Yeah.
And the book to the right of the book I'm going to attack, I'll use it on that.
Okay.
Is
that an attack roll or a save?
It is. It's a dex save.
Dex save.
Yeah.
These books are particularly dexterous. That is a 12.
Oh, that fails, so it takes full damage. So it's now based on my level. So Jesus Christ. Okay, so it's only 1d6 worth of damage for that. And that is 2 points of lightning damage.
Zippity zappity.
And I'll take the first swing with the trident on that one in front of me.
Okay.
Which is scroll up, non-natural 20 to hit.
Yep, that definitely hits.
And that's with a d6 because I'm doing that one-handedly. Wow. Minimal damage, so 5 points of piercing damage with that.
You stab that one and it's gone.
Okay, 10, 15, 20. If that's gone, I'll move here.
Yep.
And then take my second swing on the book. What is that?
Okay.
And that's 17 to hit.
Yep, that definitely hits.
And I'm definitely changing that D6 over. Let's go for that one. And that is 6 points of piercing damage on that one.
All right. Good hit. Some pages kind of scatter out of it as you hit it.
Yep. So that's
Anything else when you climb?
bonus action and my action. Let's have a look because I would be aware of this going down. I will move. No, I won't. I'll stay there because everybody else can see it because of the height of the rocks and the wall. So yeah, I'll just stay there.
Okay. Quarantine, you're up with Kirkin preparing.
Okay. Can I see the big bad book at the back?
Yes, you can. It's a much larger tome with a lot of magic kind of spewing from it.
Okay, I'm going to throw it out.
That's the one that hurt me, isn't it?
I believe so. You definitely got shot by one of them.
All right. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to throw out a lightning spear
Okay. At the
at the big book.
big book. Okay. Roll to hit. Roll to hit.
28.
28 definitely hits.
So it's 2d12. So that's 17 points of damage to the big book. And then the target and each creature in a 10-foot cone behind it take another 3d6 lightning damage.
Okay, so that'll be H. Is there any save associated with that?
Dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving. 11.
No. What
Okay.
about the other one? Because it does the target and 10 feet behind the target.
There's only one book behind it.
Yeah, so they both would have to do one.
Does it affect the target? Hang on.
Yes.
I wrote this spell ages ago, so I just want to have a look quickly.
The target and each creature in a 10-foot cone behind it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I might adjust that at some point, but okay, we'll go with that, seeing as that's how I've written it. Probably not.
So it's another 15 damage.
Let me have a look. Dex plus 2, it's a 14, so...
Still no.
Okay. How much damage was that?
17 to the big book, and then 15 points each to the both the books.
Okay. And then that one. Yeah.
And Quarantine basically pulls back her hand, almost seems
Zap
to grab lightning from behind her in the sky and throws it towards the big book, and it explodes in a
Very nice.
big streak of lightning and sparks.
Okay. Kirkin, you're up with me preparing.
I am going to look about my party and see if there's anyone who looks decidedly worse for wear.
Let's have a look. Let me get my little... It's a very handy little tool that I have for this. Called
I
the
look
D&D
fine.
mobile app. I know that Aldris isn't looking too good.
I look awful. More so than normal.
Well,
I was going to say that's quite cool.
okay.
Yeah, that is fairly normal. You can read into that
Aldris is
whatever you
looking
want.
rough. Yeah, Aldris is looking the worst. And you're probably next on the list. So,
Hey. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Okay, so I will go over to Aldous and give him a 3rd level cure wounds.
you're going to climb down the rocks to get to him?
Yes,
Oh god, he's down
I'm
there.
far away.
You're far away. You will be difficult. Yeah.
It's his job.
That's true. Since I didn't have much trouble getting up there, I'll go down, heal him, go back up. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll say that can be your movement in that turn.
Grand. So got too many tabs. So cure wounds for 18 points of healings.
18 points of healing. Very nice.
I'm feeling a little better, thank you.
So I will then attempt to, I can't pronounce the word, but like just discreetly wipe off my hand as I'm climbing back up the rocks and be on standby for healing anyone else.
It's perfectly okay.
Is there anything else, Kirkland?
Nope, that's it for the moment.
Okay. So, Big Book's turn. It's going to fly up just a little bit. Kind of flies up to kind of match your level up on the rocks. And I would like everyone in that cube to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Oh, good plan.
For once, the barbarian's the smart person.
I wouldn't go that far. So,
Constitution save.
It was going so well. It's like 15, 15, 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go down the list. Quarantine.
14.
14. That is a failure. You take 34 points of force damage and are thrown off the rock.
Bye, Felicia.
Kirkin.
I'm suddenly very worried because I got a 7.
Can I use like a reaction to try and grab her with a tentacle?
Hello.
Make a dexterity check for me, please. Actually, we'll do it after we see your con save. Because that might affect it.
Okay.
So, Kirkin, you take 34 points of damage and are thrown 10 feet back off the rocks.
Okay, so I have an immediate question.
Yeah.
Because that was 34 points of damage and I had 26 hit points.
Yeah, you get thrown off. You land unconscious in the sand next to Aldris.
Excellent.
So, we'll do Balkan. You're next.
Non-natural 20 for the con save.
Someone can't make up their mind where they want to be.
You take 17 points of force damage and aren't moved. So you can now make a dex check to see if you can catch Quarantine.
Yeah, I'm not very dexterous.
Using your...
That's not too bad. 17?
17. I'll say that you've got Quarantine grappled and Quarantine doesn't fall, but she is being held up in the air there.
Okay.
So I'll say, Quarantine, that you are grappled but not restrained for the time being. Eyeless.
23.
23. You take 17 points of force damage and aren't moved. Phineas.
21.
You take 17 points of force damage and aren't moved. And Lack.
7.
You take 34 points of force damage and are thrown back into the octopus.
Oh.
Into like a big bouncy castle.
You don't take any damage from being thrown back because he's quite squishy.
I'm up in the air anyway.
See, you laughed at the octopus. You're not laughing now.
The octopus is quite tall. So, but yeah. And that's its turn. Lack, you're up with Aldris preparing.
Okay. How far am I away?
Good job you're a healer.
Perfect. Yeah, good job. I'm going to take bonus action, take steady aim, and I'm going to shoot the bloody thing.
Okay, you're shooting the book. Roll your attack with advantage from steady aim.
That's a natural 20.
That's definitely going to hit. Roll your damage with sneak attack. Doubled from crit.
Oh, shit, son.
1, 2, 3. Hold on, I'm going to try and remember how to do this now. I need one of those as well.
Off the dragonfly. Revenge, motherfucker.
Oh no, I need another one. Hold on. 2 of them plus. So I need another d6. We're running out of d6s.
You're a rogue. You need more.
Need all the d6s.
2, that is 4, 8, 9, 14, 19 doubled is 38 points of piercing damage and
Yeah.
6 points of poison damage.
Okay. You doubled the poison damage as well, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
3 on that dice.
So that was 38 and 6.
Yep.
Okay. So that's 44 points of damage. Very nice. A large clump of pages drop out of it as you as you fire a bolt into it.
Hiss at it.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's my guy. I can't move because I did steady aim.
Wouldn't it be
Aldris,
buzzing
your
and
turn.
clicking rather than hissing?
Oh no, I hiss when I get very, very angry.
Aldris, it's your turn with me preparing.
It seems that Mr. Kirkin here can't decide whether he wants to be on top or at the bottom of the rocks. Okay, well, let's see what we can do about that. And I'll reach out with one of my beautifully manicured, not really, hands. And luckily he's unconscious, so he can't see it. And cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay. So you're healing.
That's 12 points of healing.
Okay. 12 points of healing.
Gherkin comes to consciousness and just sees Aldous going.
You're conscious once again, but you are still prone.
I just sort of imagine
Link up with
just
Aldous.
leaning far over and sort of breathing at Kirkin.
Hey, no, I'm not.
Smelling salt.
Not at all. I just look disgusting. I'm not actually disgusting.
Anything
Are you
else
sure
from you,
though?
Aldris?
Well, maybe. I don't. Some people think that I am, some people don't. So, no, that will be it for me. Thank you.
Okay. My turn. So, book B, kind of in a problem. It kind of flickers its pages, and you watch as a little bit of magic kind of shimmers over its cover, trying to protect itself. Then F is going to shoot Klein.
Cool. Can you just ping those ones, Jay? So, because
Yes.
if I'm in there, I'd see where the shimmer came across one of them. And
So, this one right next to you,
Yeah.
with the shimmer.
Yep.
This one over here is shooting you.
Cool.
I've got the. That is a 13 to hit you.
Does not hit.
This one is going to move here and shoot you. That's a natural 20 to hit you, though.
Does not hit.
Excellent. So you take 15 points of force damage. And this one that's also next to you is going to also shimmer and try and protect itself. Eyeless, you're up with Balkan preparing.
Okay, so just seen the majority of my homies get sort of, bulked pretty
Their
hard.
asses hands to them.
Yeah, pretty much. So I can't get to Quarantine or Kirkin, and so I'm going to go straight for Lack and use. Well, I'm going to move to here for a start. So I'm going to use my bonus action to cast a 2nd level healing word.
Okay. You can see Quarantine. She's being held up at the height of the rocks by Balkan.
Okay, that's fine. I'm still going to do what I'm doing. So that's 10 points of healing for Lack.
Thank you very much.
And then I'm going to use my action to cast Sacred Fail at the Big Book.
Big Book, Sacred Fail. Okay. That is, for the Big Book, a 17 on the deck save.
DC 17. So that succeeds, unfortunately.
flutters to the side as the pillar of silver moonlight strikes next to it. Anything else, Silas?
No, that's me.
Okay. Balkin, it's your turn with Phineas preparing.
Okay, with the tentacle that's holding quarantine, I'm going to bring her in so she's in front of the octopus. And then with another
Okay.
tentacle, another spare one, I'm going to put it underneath her so it's cradling her. And I'm just going to look at her for a second, sort of shake her a little bit because she doesn't look very well.
You're being
And then-
shaken by an octopus, Quarantine.
Bonus action, I'll reverse out my form, so then it's left with me holding her.
Okay.
And then I realise I can't cast a spell, so I have to touch. But I know that I'm touching her, but I don't know how magic really works. So I'm just going to nuzzle my head and boop her on the head with my head and cast Cure Wounds at level 3.
Okay. Roll the healing. This is probably quite an experience, Quarantine.
I mean, she nearly went flying off rocks, being booped by a turtle. In comparison,
Could be worse. Could be booped by Aldris.
17 points of healing.
lovely, thank you.
17 points of healing. Very nice.
And then I will, forgetting that she's in my hands, just start walking towards the thing.
Okay, you're going to climb down the rocks?
Yeah.
Can I stay here?
Why?
Because I don't like it down there. But thank you.
Okay.
I'll say that you kind of awkwardly shuffle around and find yourself on the beach with Quarantine just a little bit above you.
Yeah, so how much is it to get down a little bit?
I'll say that probably takes 15 feet of your movement.
I'd probably
You kind of have to shuffle around Quarantine.
Good luck, Vulcan, and just sort of gently pat him on the head.
Why'd you do that?
So thank you.
Right, okay. And I'm just going to move there.
Okay. Anything else from you, Balkan?
Nope. Action, bonus action, movement.
Okay. Phineas, you're up with Klein preparing.
Okay. Tentacle is going to, I think it's got a 10-foot reach, so it's just going to take an attack at one of the little books over it.
Okay, that one. Roll to hit.
Cool, 24.
That definitely hits.
Yep. And 8 points of cold damage.
Its protection didn't help. That's one soggy book.
Slap it out there. And then I am going to... I'm just going to fire a couple of Eldritch Blasts at the main... The big boss.
Big book.
The big
Roll
boss
your
book.
attacks.
Flurp. Ooh, terrible. 10.
10, that doesn't hit.
Double it, 20.
That does hit. So it kind of blasts the first one away with a shock wave, that the second one hits it.
That's 11 points of force damage.
Very nice. It's not looking good. A lot of pages have fallen out, and its bookmark is hanging by a thread.
Not the bookmark. Yeah, cool. And I'm just going to stay where he actually sheltered in my little.
Okay. Klein, it's your turn. Quarantine preparing.
Yeah, okay, so little book just to the right just needs to make a dex save again for my aura.
Yeah. That's a 10.
Wow.
Oh, that fails. So
Somebody was happy.
maximum 6 points of lightning damage.
6 points of lightning damage. Very, very spicy.
Is it looking a bit tattered?
It's looking rough.
But the big book is also looking rough as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt something with the big book because that just hit everyone for quite some, and I know that. And I know that the damage the books are causing are hurting me as well, even though I'm raging. So I get my trident in my hand, and anyone who's watching that way will just see Klein kind of spin at his hand a bit, so the trident is like facing the big book, and then he'll lean back, and I'm going to try and chuck it at the book to hit it, but also to try and pin it anywhere that it can be pinned if it does.
Okay, make the attack roll for me.
Yep.
We'll go from there.
What am I going to do? So let's do that one. Why not? 25 to hit.
That definitely hits. Roll that for your trident.
Okay. So damage is. Oh, that's quite good. So that is 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay. So now I'm going to roll a strength saving throw from the book. And we'll go from there. It rolled a 9 for 8. So what I will say is that it's knocked back into this slightly rotten wooden desk, and I will say for the time being is grappled.
Okay.
You're trident poking into it.
Yep. And then for my second attack on that book again, no one's ever seen Klein do this, but he knows he's used one of his big weapons. So he to his belt goes to his left hand side of the belt with his right hand, and then goes to stab the other book with a dagger.
Okay. Roll the attack against the other book with your dagger.
You probably do more damage with your fist.
That is only 10 points. 10
to hit. Yeah, you kind of swing with your dagger and you hit the cover of the book, but the magic kind of prevents you from pushing it in and pushes you back.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then just so everyone who's got potentially a better line of sight to the big book, as I know that it's pinned, I'll move there.
Okay. Anything else from you, Klein?
No, that's bonus action, and movement I want to do.
Okay. Quarantine, you're up with Kirkin preparing.
Okay, I'm going to shuffle around to the other side of Eyeless.
Okay.
And then I'm going to throw out a ray of frost at the big book, because I don't like that big book.
Okay, roll your attack.
25 to hit.
That definitely hits. Roll your damage.
Only 6 points of frost damage, but its movement is reduced by 10 feet.
It can't move anyway, it's grappled, but yeah, that's a solid hit.
Frozen and grappled.
It's not having a good day.
Yeah, well, nor am I much, so I don't feel any pity.
Fair enough. Okay, anything else from you, Quarantine?
I am going to not do anything else.
Okay. Kirkin, you're up.
You're also muted.
Sorry, I was complaining about D&D Beyond having frozen on, but it has successfully restarted.
Yay.
I shall pull myself to my feet, and I shall cast a... no, not that one. There we go. Yeah, I'm worth it. I shall cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
For fuck's sake. Triple ones.
Oh, that was nice.
Oh, God.
Sorry, 2 1s and a 7.
Yeah, 1
Fuck's
1
sake.
7. Oh, that's rough, buddy.
Less so yeah, I think that's movement and action then, since I had to.
Yeah. Well, it
Get
takes
right.
half your movement to stand up, but
Okay. You know, I don't fancy trying to get over the wall again yet.
no, that's perfectly
So-
fine.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at get myself to the feet.
Okay.
Or hooves, rather.
So, this thing is not looking good. Let's see if it gets all of those back. Ooh, gets that back. I don't know if that will help it, but we'll see. What's it going to do? I think it's going to do this. Ten panels. You watch, even though it's kind of pinned in the spine by this trident, its pages flicker, and you see shimmering on top of the walls. I'm just going to try and hang on. No, I don't want to do a different color than that. Hang on. Apologies. All right, that one like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Stop counting. That's too many.
7, 8, 9.
I'm really glad I stayed behind the rocks
10.
this time.
Yeah, see, it's the
You watch
best place to be.
this faint shimmer appear. It goes. Let me just have a look at the wording of this. So it's 10 foot up, kind of embedded in the wall, so you guys can barely see over the top of it. But there is a small, probably 3 or 4 foot gap underneath there, the entrance to the tower, and it kind of shimmers. And
or is it just a ring?
it doesn't have a top; it is just a ring.
Okay.
And that's its turn. Lack, it's your turn.
Okay. So with my bonus action, I'm going to drink the last potion I have in my backpack.
Okay.
Potion of greater healing, which is 4d4 plus 4. So that's 12 points of healing.
A corker of a roll there, James. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Oof.
And then I'm going to fly up in the air. So
Yeah.
above the thing, and I'm going to move forward a bit to about here, so I can see over the top. And then I'm going to shoot him.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Or try to, at least. And miss.
With the 12, you hit.
Do I? Oh, okay.
Yeah. These things I see aren't that great.
Okay. What? Won't get sneak attack because there's nothing attacking.
You won't get sneak attack.
Yeah. That's a shame. But never mind.
Would you get advantage?
I mean,
'cause
technically
it's
it's
grappled.
grappled.
It can't
You
move.
don't get advantage from things being grappled, unfortunately. Restrained provides advantage, but grappled does
Okay.
not.
I thought as it was
All
pinned by a
grappled-
trident and frozen.
All grappled
But-
does is
Okay.
prevent something from moving.
Yeah. Just
So
kind of the
that's-
point, isn't it? But okay.
Yeah, but restrained is then provides the advantage. But roll the damage.
8 points of piercing and 6 points of poison.
Nice.
Lack, how do you want to do this?
Well, hey.
I just like it to sort of like the bolt to hit it, and it just sort of explodes into lots of little bits of paper. And
Explodes into paper, and the spine is just left pinned by this trident onto the
Yeah.
table.
Nice.
Very nice.
does that barrel
And the
where it dies?
yes,
Yeah.
it does. It kind of shimmers and pops into nothing.
And you might hear another hiss as you do it, getting revenge for all that damage it did.
Very pleased insect.
Yes.
Anything else, Lack?
No, that's me.
Okay, Aldris, you're up.
I'm going to
With me
turn to
preparing.
Kirk. It's certainly getting interesting on this island, isn't it?
It's much more dangerous than my last ship was.
Well,
Right. Well,
is that a
we
good thing or a
came
bad
here to
thing?
break this seal.
So I
Sorry,
will.
two people talking at once there. Didn't catch that.
I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure. I'm just going to go up and take a look. And I'll move up to the cliffside.
Okay.
Looking.
Also, that takes 20 feet of your movement to get up there.
Okay, well, I shall move.
We're not out of initiative yet, Martin.
Oh, sorry.
There's still 3 books to go.
Oh, shit.
And I will.
Yeah, because the balls, but
I'm going to cast Bane on them.
Okay.
So, charisma saving throw, please.
Charisma saving throw from a book. How charismatic could a book be?
All 3 of them.
Yeah. What is this, Mr. Degon? Wow, that was 4, a 4, and a 3.
Impressive.
So
the books are charmed.
they are
The books
baned.
are baned, which means
Baned. That makes more
they
sense.
have to take a D4 off their attack rolls or saving throws.
Yeah, that's not going to help them.
For the next minute.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my go.
That's your go.
Because I used all my
So it's now
movement to get up
Book's
there.
turn. Book's turn. So this one here is going to attempt to shoot Klein. Apologies. So it has to take a D4 off. All can do. 7.
No.
Then the next one next to it is also going to take a shot at you, Klein. For oh my, what has happened to my dice?
Bane
A
has
6
happened.
to
No.
hit, and then this one, yeah, it gets one of those. You watch as kind of a small mote of fire appears in between the pages and bursts out at you. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't hit anybody else.
$14. I rolled the same number on both dice.
14. That's a save. And you take 5 points of fire damage. Lets out a cone of flame. Okay, that's its turn. Eyeless, you're up with Balkan preparing.
So Alice is going to jump down and go there. On his way past, just going to sort of. You'll see him touch the capstone on his staff, and then just sling out a piece of light at Klein.
Okay.
So I'm going to use a first level healing word for 8 points of healing.
Okay. Yeah, heal for 8 there, Klein.
Basically, you'll just see him sort of swing the arm around with a sensor because he's already seen that Phineas has done damage to the runes, and just swing the sensor down and smash the rest of it.
Okay. Make an attack roll against the rune for me, please.
Thank you.
+3, 15.
15, that hits. Roll some damage for me, please.
Okay. So it's 7 bludgeoning damage and 5 radiant damage.
Okay. And can you make a strength saving throw for me, please?
Yep. This is going to go well. Oh, natural 20. 420.
Sure. You take 2 points of force damage as it kind of tries to repel you with a blast of magic.
Cool.
Anything else, Eyeless?
No, that'd be done.
Okay, Balkan, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to Klein, and then, because this is how I heal now, I'm going to pick him up, like I did quarantine. Cast
Klein,
your
you're
words.
being hugged.
Level 3.
You are being healed. Do not resist.
I have Baymax, basically. Uh, 6, 10, 5 plus 4, 19 points of healing.
19 points of healing decline.
Lovely old job, Balkan. Thank you for that.
I'll put him down and then just go. Quarantine gave me a pat on the head.
And I'll just reciprocate it. I'll do the same.
Okay.
You receive a pat on the head from Klein.
Can I do anything with my bonus action? Can't cast a spell. No. So I will just. I'll take another step forward to try and block the shots a bit because I'm got a huge big shell.
Okay. Phineas, you're up with Klein preparing.
Okay. I will move tentacle up there.
Moves up to the desk.
And it's going to attack the book nearest to it.
Okay, roll the attack.
19.
19, that definitely hits. Roll your damage.
And 10 points of cold damage.
Ooh, it's a very soggy book. Right, what's next?
Ooh. Then I, Phineas, will
you book.
Let me count 5, 10,
Phineas
15.
will save us.
I will try and jump up onto this wall. You say it's about 5 foot. Can I climb up on
Yeah. Just give me a quick athletics check.
Athletics. Oh, excellent. I'm very good at these. 11.
11. I'll say you can get there, but it'll take the rest of your movement to get up on top.
Sure. Can't. Yeah, I don't quite know where you want
You're on top of the wall.
Yeah,
that works.
Okay. Hoping that will give me a bit more of an angle. Direct my Eldritch blasts at the rune.
You can fire them over the top of Eyeless, or are you going for the rune? Sorry.
Yes, for the rune.
Okay. Roll your attack into the rune.
A 16.
That hits.
And a natural 20.
Definitely hit. Roll the damage.
So the natural 20 is 15 points of force damage. And the other was 9. So total 24.
Yep, that rune shatters and stops glowing. And you all hear a grinding of stone coming from behind you in this direction. Anything else, Phineas?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay. Next up, we have Klein with quarantine preparing.
Yep. But what Balkan would notice is there's like a storm aura around me, and Klein would just be like, "Wait, what's this, Balkan?" And the book needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Saving throw, -4. 5.
No, fails. So, max damage, 6 points of lightning damage.
That's annoying. Okay. The book is barely holding up.
Oh, fuck you, book.
How many times are you guys gonna hit an enemy and reduce it to 1 hit point? You're exceedingly good at
every
it.
single time.
Well, that's ruined my plan as well. Little prick of a book.
How dare it?
Okay, so the great axe comes out, and I take a swipe at it.
Okay, roll the attack.
Natural 1.
It's
this one
for 13 to hit. Sorry, Jesus Christ.
That just hits because it had the shimmering effect on it.
Cheers.
But I don't need to wait to hear how much you got.
Yeah. overkill. 10 points of damage on that.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
And then I pretty much come to here and do a hit on one of those.
Okay, roll the attack.
No, it's 19 because it's a great axe to hit.
Yeah, that hits. I assume you're attacking this one here.
Yeah, that one there. Sorry, yeah. My bad. I
Very
should have.
lovely.
Let's use that one, shall we? Oh, and that is 14 points of slashing damage on that one.
That's enough to kill one in one shot, but that one was already damaged. That's dead. But little books don't have much health.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can do.
Okay. That's Klein's turn. Quarantine, you're up with Kirken preparing.
Can I see over the wall here?
Yeah. There's probably a Phineas in the way slightly here. The wall is only 5 feet up, and the rocks are a good 5 feet up as well, so you can see cleanly over it.
I'm going to scooch to the left and then do another ray of frost on the remaining book.
Okay, roll the attack.
23 to hit.
That definitely hits. Roll your damage.
And that's 9 points of frost damage, and its speed is reduced by 10.
Okay. Not happy. That book. Anything else, Quarantine?
Nope. Alright, that's it. I'm just going to sort of... Fucking books. And that's it.
Kirken, you're up with Lack preparing, please.
Right. Given that we are now in a situation where we're potentially creating a new problem before we have finished dealing with the current one, I am actually going to stay where I am. Because we have heard a grinding noise and we do not know, well, we suspect, but we do not know what it has done, and it has released a new wave of enemies upon us.
Okay.
So I'm going to stay at the ready where I am, with my attention away from the fight behind me. Because, there's other healers in there. It's fine.
You hear some stomping coming down from behind you.
Great. Yeah.
You do not have a clear sight of the bridge, as there is a rock outcrop blocking your vision.
So I will be lookout and potentially, first of all, then in a new wave of attack.
Okay. Lack, you're up with Aldrich preparing.
Okay, there's still one book left, isn't there?
Yep, it's by Klein.
Okay, I'm just going to...
Not looking happy.
I'm going to move over here. Oops.
Yeah.
Not to move me. Move over to about here, and I'm just going to shoot it.
Okay, roll the attack.
That's non-natural 20.
That definitely hits. Roll your damage with sneak attack, as Klein is there.
Oh, okay. That is crap. 11 points of piercing and 7 points of poison.
Yep, 14 damage more than you needed.
Oh, okay.
And that book just collapses to the floor in a flutter of pages. And there we go. We are out of initiative.
Okay, what I'd like to do then is go to this rock fall here where I saw that magical blip and have a check for traps.
Roll investigation check.
Essentially, you are a rogue.
I don't
picked up
think
my
so,
trident,
yeah.
by the way.
Lack.
Yep.
Checks.
Nine. That's
How
a
much did you get?
9.
You go there and you remember seeing the magical kind of like blob there, but all you can see is just rubble and sand.
What are you looking for, Lack?
There's something magic here, but I cannot find it.
Guido, how loose do the rocks look?
He's just walking over the
Yeah, I mean, they're
yes.
rotten, aren't they? So I'm pretty sure my weight and
I
everything.
will say there is a book on another book on the desk that does not look magical and didn't fly up with the rest of them.
How
You kind of.
Sorry,
Pardon?
I was just
Go
going to
ahead.
say, how loose do the rocks look there?
It's kind of loose rubble. You could probably dig through it and shift
Yeah,
it about.
I'll shift it about and see if anything shiny falls out.
I'll say just make a strength check. DC's not going to be super high.
13.
13. Yeah, you can kind of shift the rocks aside, and you can see that the sand is kind of piled up a little bit higher than it would normally be.
Anything kind of shiny or gem-like fall out or anything?
Do you move the sand about a bit?
Yeah, if I can.
Yeah, you shuffle the sand about, and there is a small metal box half buried in the sand.
I'll
Pick
grab
it
the
up
book
and-
that was just mentioned as well.
There you go, Lack.
You pick up
That's
the
it.
book, Eyeless.
Yes.
Yes, you also see that there's this metal rod sitting on the desk.
Yeah, I'm about to pick that up as well. So the box and
Okay,
take-
you fly over to it, grab it, and go to take off, and you're not moving.
Yeah.
The rod is completely stationary.
Immovable, perhaps.
Well, that's a surprise. Quarantine. And I'll fly over to meet her and give her the shiny little box and say, there is something magical in here. And there is a rod on the table that I cannot move.
Can I have a look in the first part of the book? Just anything around relevant.
What
I'm not sure why you're looking at me,
languages-
Lack. I'm not any stronger than you are.
What languages do you know, Eyeless?
Celestial, Common, Draconic, and Primordial.
You can't read the scripts that this is written in.
Okay.
Sorry, I was talking to Quarantine, wasn't I? It is magical, but I cannot lift it, so I don't know what it is. That is why I'm telling you, because you detect all this magic stuff, don't you?
I'll come and have a look.
Whilst they're
And
doing that, sorry, carry on.
So I'm just going to say I'll carefully try and shuffle down the rocks to the other side.
Whilst they're doing that, I just want to come across the rocks to look down in the direction the noise came from. Can I still see those golems standing by the bridge?
Make a perception check for me, please, Aldris.
Okay, perception check.
Did you take the box from me, Lack?
Yeah, I gave it to Quarantine.
Excellent, an 8.
8. You occasionally see them kind of walking about. They seem active,
Right, okay.
but you can't see anything else.
Okay, I will then scoot back over here, jump down, and talk to Kirkin.
Okay.
It would appear that the golems are slightly agitated, sort of wandering about down there. You're muted again, Kirkin.
Yeah.
The side. Something has moved with the grinding of the rocks.
Yeah, but the golems are sort of wandering about, whereas before they were just stationary.
I don't think the noise I heard was the golems.
Yeah, but I think it might have upset them as well.
We should perhaps investigate.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so we'll come back to the tower then. So, what are the rest of you doing in here?
I'll attempt to, seeing as though Lack couldn't lift it, I'll put a hand on this rod. See if I can lift it.
Grab it and pull it. It's just not moving. Like, you're putting on a great show of your muscles, but this thing is not moving.
When I come in, is it something that I recognise?
Make an Arcana check for me. What did you get? 1. It's a metal
91.
rod. It's a bit weird that it's not rolled down the side of the desk.
It's not something I've ever seen before.
I will say, by the way, in this tower, there are some drawers on the desk that haven't completely collapsed. It's just the middle that has collapsed in.
I'll have
Oh.
a one. Open some drawers.
I will do another detect magic.
Okay. Phineas, you kind of start looking through the drawers, and you find another metal box that doesn't have a lock on it, and a small little statue carved out of marble, depicting. It's very small. It's probably only about that big, and it seems to be depicting a mermaid wielding a bow that looks like a crescent moon.
I'll pick up the statue and just like Klein, keep hold of this, and I'm gonna flick open the box.
Okay, you click open the box, and there is a set of these really kind of very fancy, ornate robes that seem to be embroidered with golden thread. They're white silk and golden thread. They're very fancy and very delicate.
Entirely too nice for people like us.
Correct. Except for Phineas. Phineas has got some mad fashion going on.
Cool. Yeah.
Phineas has got some class, thank you.
I think Aldous would look rather dashing in white and gold robes.
I think it's bed attire for Phineas, actually.
I mean, Eyeless has already got something very similar over his armor, which is sort of white, sort of with silver threading.
Probably way
Aldous,
too much material for quarantine.
Aldous, as you kind of turn the corner, you see the golems patrolling. The glow from their eyes seems to have intensened. And hang on, let me just check something on these guys.
Well, that's interesting.
There they are. They each appear to be carrying a large Warhammer-looking weapon in their hands as they patrol. They haven't noticed your Kirk.
Just turn to Kirk.
I don't think they had those earlier.
I don't think they did either. They look slightly more annoyed, if that's possible.
I think so.
Should we perhaps go and talk to them? Or do you think it's slightly wiser to go and tell the captain what's going on?
I think Lack should talk to them, since he was the only one they didn't attack earlier.
That's probably a very good plan. Right, so go and talk to them it is. No, wait. That's not what you said, is it?
No, talk to the crew first.
Talk to the captain, exactly.
Yes.
Big hammers. We must remember they've got very big hammers.
With everyone looking through books and drawers and opening boxes and Quarantine looking puzzled at this rod, Klein just looks at it and just kind of gives a side eye to Quarantine, and in his head is kind of like, fuck it, why not? And licks it.
Tastes salty.
And just to confirm, Quarantine has never been confused by a rod.
No. This one she has been.
I will sort of hand the book to Phineas. I don't quite understand the script. Perhaps you or somebody else might.
A little peek.
Give it a look, and you can't read it, but you've definitely seen Quarantine working with stuff like this before.
I think, yes, the first mate may be the right one to speak to.
Right.
Say about now, Quarantine, your are you doing detect magic, or?
Yes.
You ping a detect magic, and the rod in front of you glows, and the box that I don't remember who has it.
That gave it to me.
Yeah, the box seems to have a glow coming from inside, but the lock on it isn't glowing.
I might need you to open this before I can actually see what's magical inside of it. It's not magically locked.
Okay. And I'll check for traps.
Investigation check.
My investigation checks are rubbish.
Back checks or traps.
15.
15. Yeah, seems perfectly fine.
And then I'll pick its lock.
Okay, make a thieves' tools check for me, please.
Oh, wonderful 12.
12. It's not budging. This lock is well made.
Okay, I'll give it another go.
Okay, give me another go at disadvantage then.
That checks for traps.
That's better. 18.
18. It's really not having it. This lock is eluding you, Lack.
I cannot open this. I'm sorry.
Pass it here, then Lack will give it a go.
Try not to damage what's ever inside it, won't you?
Can someone help me up?
Righto.
You'll turn around and you see Balkin is lying on his shell, just slowly spinning.
Awesome.
What happened to you, darling?
I was trying to look at the moon.
Well,
Klein, perhaps you could help Balkan first.
He's still looking at the moon, aren't you, Balkan?
It's the daytime.
Oh, right. Give us 2 ticks. And I'll put my hand out for the box. The box, did you say it was metal or did you say it was...
Yes, it's
wood?
metal. It's a metal box.
Okay. Klein Klein being Klein, is this going to basically... How big is the box? Like, kind of that or smaller?
I'd say it's it's probably, actually I've got a good reference for this. Probably about this sized.
Oh, sweet as then. So yeah, he kind of puts his hands around each, like the top and bottom of it, and then just tries to just.
Okay,
Right,
make a strength check for me then, please.
Which dice? Let's use that dice. Ooh, that's not too bad. Have a look. +3, 18.
18. To try to do the Captain America thing. You ever see that picture of Chris Evans with the log?
Yeah.
But it's just not budging. This thing's well built.
Yeah.
Well, that is quite good, isn't it? And I'll just chuck it down on the ground, completely forgetting what quarantine said.
Yeah, Eyeless will just hand quarantine the book.
whilst that's
As you
happening,
throw it,
I'm just gonna.
as the box gets thrown on the ground, quarantine, you hear the clinking of glass, but you don't hear a shattering.
Klein,
Oh,
I told you to be careful. I think you might have
Oh, right.
broken whatever was inside now.
oh right.
But Aldous, what are you up to?
Just turn to Kirk. Wait here for a minute. I'm just gonna go in for a little look and turn invisible.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go round here very stealthily and take a look.
Okay.
See if I can see if anything's changed about the building or the bridge or anything else.
First of all, make a stealth check with advantage because you're invisible.
Yeah, that'll be a straight roll because I have disadvantage. Because
Yeah,
it's
well,
me.
we'll see.
This was an excellent plan.
Of course it was. 15.
15. Okay. Okay. And then make a perception check for me, please.
Do you perceive the warhammer crashing down upon your skull?
21.
21. Okay. What's your dark vision like?
I do not have dark vision, no.
Okay. You can see this part of the wall in front of the bridge. The stone has moved, and there is a dark opening into the building.
Brilliant.
You can't see inside.
Okay. I so want to go and press the button.
Press the button. Always press the button.
I go and help Balkan
Yep.
up, by the way, after
I
dropping the
will
book.
attempt to get closer, trying to avoid the patterns. Just before,
As you're kind of
Sorry.
As you kind of get closer, this golem suddenly turns and looks at where you're standing and stops in its patrol.
Okay. Right.
What do you do?
I'm going to back away slowly.
Okay.
Back this way towards Kirkin. Is it following me?
It kind of steps up to where you were and slams its hammer down on the sand where you were standing, and you hear the cracking of rock and sand sprays out, and it brings its hammer back up and returns to its patrol. All of you heard that loud slam against the rock.
So I'll get back up level with Kirkin and just whisper to him. I think I might have annoyed him a little bit, but on the plus side, there is now an opening into the building. You hear
I'm
out of
glad you're under that.
Yes, me too. It was quite impressive, wasn't it?
Very. Did it see you?
I don't know, I think it heard me.
Kirk, you look down, you can see footprints in the sand where Aldous went.
Yes, it must have heard you.
Yes, I mean, it couldn't possibly work out where I was.
No, not at all.
Apart from just hearing me, obviously.
As guards, they must have excellent hearing.
That's probably what it is, yes. Because, you know what, I'm foolproof invisibility.
Long does the spell last, so
An hour.
I can see you again. I see. I shall lead the way back to the captain then, since I can't follow you.
See, you're very clever. I like that.
You two start heading back towards the tower. So, back to the tower. Quarantine, what are you up to?
I'm sorry, Ilis, what were you saying?
I handed you the book and I'm back out on the rocks.
Alice has given you a book. It's not magical.
Okay. I'll open it and flip through.
Okay. It's written in Old Elvish, so it's going to take a little bit of translating.
I will do my best to read through it as briskly as I can.
Okay. Make an intelligence check and add your proficiency bonus because you are somewhat decent at reading the script.
Right, come here, Balkan. Let's get you up.
Am I aware that it's... Oh dear.
It's not my day today.
Quarantine, are you struggling with that?
You're not sure if you've got the book the right way up, Quarantine, and it's just giving you trouble today.
Sorry, I think that slam from the rock just sort of addled my brain a little.
Perhaps and I'm gonna just take my little necklace and
Okay.
Elf.
Are you calling on Orkana?
I am choosing you, Orkana.
Okay. Aldous, are you moving back? Or are you staying there?
Yes, I'm following Kirkin back up.
Okay.
To here.
You move your token.
Kirkman's all the way back on the wall.
So, Phineas, you kind of hold out the, kind of tap the necklace, and you watch the kind of ghostly form of Orkana appear in, and she kind of,
Hello.
Hello. What can I do to help?
Hello, Captain. Question for you as well, please.
Klein, please. No.
I should note, none of you can see Orkana.
Never been able
Only
to see her,
Phineas
so-
can see her.
I've heard about it
can I
from the
do?
captain, haven't I?
What can I do for you?
Actually, we seem to have. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Yes,
yeah, thanks,
and-
Captain. I'm good.
It's just strange to see the old places in such ruin.
Actually, that's why I could use your help. We have some text we could do with deciphering.
Oh, I'll try my
Yeah.
best, Captain. Where's the book? Let's have a look.
I can take a look.
Klein, just go and build a sandcastle or something.
Well, there's been stuff to do, isn't there? I was going to ask you something then as well. I'm a bit confused, Captain.
Yes, I know.
A
Generally,
permanent
that's
state
true.
of being.
Sorry, but too good.
It's very confusing. But if you put the book down, I'll
Sorry,
try and have a
yes.
read of it.
Quarantine, can you pass me the script, please?
Certainly, Captain.
Just
As she's kind of talking to you, her eyes are kind of wandering around, and she kind of looks up to the rocks, and kind of flinches a little bit, and goes, "I'll do it over here on the desk." And she kind of keeps looking back to the three on the rocks.
I'm going to
Nervously.
continue into the room. Because I'll
Orkana kind of
go and talk to the
busies.
captain.
She busies herself looking at the book.
So you hear directly behind you, Captain, some important information. There's nobody behind
Yes.
you. I'm invisible. So.
Oh, of course. Right, Orkana wouldn't have done that then. Apologies, I
I
forgot
just want to
you're
tell
invisible.
you. Sorry, is there something wrong?
Now I feel like Klein. Am I hearing voice? Aldris,
Yes,
where are you?
I'm right here, behind you. Can you not see me?
I can hear him, Captain. He's probably
Okay,
cast a spell on himself.
as long as somebody else can hear him, and I'm
Right.
not.
Oh, right,
Having
yes,
one.
invisibility. Sorry. Dunk. Drop invisibility. So, as I was saying, Captain, Kirkin and I very bravely decided to go down and investigate the noise that we heard earlier. And it would appear that the two golems have got, how can I put this? Agitated. One of them actually tried to pound me into the ground.
Oh, that's what we heard.
With a
was it?
large hammer. They both now have large hammers. Also, on the plus side, there appears to be now an entrance into the square building that we saw earlier. A big, dark, black, inky void of an entrance. I quite like it.
Well, I can only imagine that something that is required so much attention is either extremely dangerous, extremely valuable, or both.
Yes. That sounds like a fantastic idea. Let's do that then.
And what I was going to suggest, Captain,
Yes, Klein.
it's just because like I was going to suggest something, and you said me to go away, and I thought you were talking to me, but you weren't. But anyway, who is it on the crew who can like identify magic things? Because that rod there is, I think, quite magical because I can't even move it.
Yes, I have my little spyglass.
Ah, right. Yes, that's just a suggestion. That's all it was. And I'll build a sandcastle now, Captain.
I was getting to that, Klein. I was getting to that.
We're doing sandcastles now?
Why not?
Do you think that's
Gonna join me?
entirely wise at this moment?
Well, it's good to have a bit of rest.
I'll join you with the sandcastles.
Righto.
So it seems like you have a team already. Good luck, boys.
Keep those busy. So, Aldris,
Yes.
on your investigation, what else did you notice about the golems? Are they attacked you?
Yes, they seem to be agitated. They're moving about more than they used to. They have very large hammers now, which they didn't have before. Kirkin, I don't think there was anything else, was there?
No, just the hammers.
Fast do they seem to move? Can we lead them away?
I mean,
And then,
well, they moved not too fast. I mean, I was able to skillfully evade them. Due to my visibility, obviously. They must have very superior hearing, though.
Captain, should I
Just-
try talking to them?
That was Kirkin's idea, yes.
yeah, you could try talking to them, or they didn't seem to bother with you when you just flew past them last time, so you could just go and have a look in this inky void, if you fancy that.
I do love being inky void.
I test their acceptance of you first before you just go diving into the void.
I'll go down to here, to within sort of like 50.
As you kind of land there, the two of them turn and both hold out their hands, motioning for you to stop.
I'll just say stand down and let me past.
They remain there with their hands out for you to stop.
Okay. then I'll fly up over this rock and go to here to see what happens.
And the two of them immediately turn and start stomping towards you.
Okay, and I'll fly up.
And they're both getting their hammers ready.
I'll fly up on top of the building.
They wade into the water and slow down a little bit. Kind of reach the side of the building and are kind of looking up at you.
I was going to say, are they too low for me? Are they too low to hit me? That was the question. If they were, I would have flown off again.
Check. So this building was it's a cube, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Probably about 30 feet up. They're a good 15 feet tall, but they can't quite reach you.
Okay, that's fine.
They're kind of holding their hammers and just looking up at you.
Okay, in which case I will fly up and over their heads, not fast, so they start following me, and go down this way and see if they follow me.
They follow you down to the bridge entrance, and kind of
go back to patrol.
They reach there, and yeah, as you move away, they return to their patrol.
Okay, so then I'm going to fly around back here and back up to the boss.
Okay.
And say, they did not hurt me, but they did not like me flying past them. They then tried to get me. So I could sneak in and try and get inside, but it's not going to be easy for everybody to get in.
Do we need to destroy them? Anyone?
They are not going to let people past.
I still think those primordial pools of water have got something to do with it as well, Captain, and the statues.
We could try to sneak through the water and behind them, but that could be difficult, and if they see us, then we would be stuck in the water.
That's okay. I'm going to turn invisible again. And I click my fingers to turn invisible. Nothing happens. Well, that's odd. Huh, whatever.
I will say as well, whilst we're here, we know we're safe. And that was quite a big battle just then, all in all.
I was going to say we should take a rest. I'm tapped as well, just...
But I can speak to those puddles. I'm not quite sure if they can speak back, but they understand me. They let me go when they first got me. But I still reckon they've got something to do with something on this bit.
If you wanted to communicate with a puddle, Klein, that's entirely up to you.
Right.
Perhaps you could convince one to form a moat around your sandcastle.
That would be quite good, but I don't think that would be the best use of its abilities, to be fair, Captain.
Okay,
Well,
so what is everybody doing now? I assume that Klein and Balkan, you guys are on sandcastle duty?
Yeah, we'll just do that and take quite a nice little rest for, I don't know, we'll say 45 minutes, an hour or so.
Rest is in order.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. That book, as everything it seems to be about Terran, maybe I should look at it.
I think it's mostly in ancient Elvish, but
Well, I
my
can
brain's
take a
a
look
bit.
if you like.
You look at the book, and the pages are just occasionally just flopping over by themselves.
That's interesting.
Phineas, as you look, you can see Orkana's really struggling and just about getting the pages to move.
Do I see any scripts that I recognise?
What languages do you know?
Common, Sylvan, and Optaran.
No.
Okay.
I'll take a look at this strange magical book that's flipping over. What's it written in? Do I recognise it?
Yeah, it's written in Elvish. You
Cool.
can read it perfectly fine.
What is
Yes, you as you kind of watch this, Orkana just kind of darts back and kind of positions you between her and Aldous.
This is in Elvish. What's the problem reading this?
It's just a little bit older than I'm used to.
Ah, okay. It's a bit weird. seems perfectly
How
normal to
how
me.
old if how old if yours has been like the language you speak since you were born? Quarantine, sorry, I forgot to add that to it.
I was a bit
How could it be
confused
old
there.
to you?
It's just an older form that was around long before I've been around.
Well,
Klein just looks a little bit puzzled at Aldous and he's just like,
well, I can read it for you if you want me to read it, Captain.
Yeah, just have a flick through and work out the gist.
What's the book about?
You kind of start leafing through it, and you kind of see a lot of notes about abjuration magic and kind of protective runes to keep something sealed. You find one passage. It kind of sort of reads, "Well, we've been implored by the giants, and the Queen has allowed us to assist them. They say that something nasty is contained within these tombs that they've built, and they want our proficiency with more arcane magics to be able to protect them. They've certainly got a good grasp on the primordial, though. Those golems are quite nasty, and the water weirds, as they call them, are intriguing, to say the least."
I will just read this out loud.
Does that mean we've just unlocked the prison of something very, very bad?
It certainly seems that we've unlocked the prison of something.
Yes. We've tried asking the giants what is inside this this prison, they call it. All they say is it's a dangerous beast that shouldn't be released at all costs. So
And again,
we're quite glad to provide our magic to that.
I'm just reading this out verbatim.
In exchange, the giants have been more than willing to assist us with our experimentations. I have put inside one of my safe boxes a fruit from my labours, inherent essence of their cloud giant abilities, particularly their strength. May be useful in some applications if we can produce more of this.
That's probably what was broken.
And you kind of flick to the back of the page and you see the elven word for the elven words for start and pause are written on the kind of the inside of the back cover.
Huh, that's interesting. It says start here and pause here. Perhaps we could say that to the golems, but the golems seem to be the giants' magic. I don't know, it's very confusing. But anyway, we seem to have unlocked something very valuable.
I will also point out, Quarantine, you heard a clink of glass, but not a shatter.
Okay.
When Klein dropped the box.
Anybody else able to pick a lock?
Yeah.
I hate to point out an obvious question here, but why do we want to get in there if it's a prison for something very dangerous?
It's not
Why
really a
don't we
case
just
of
leave?
wanting to. It's open.
Well, let's try and figure out how to unopen.
I think
Well,
basically we
probably-
have to see these circles we've smashed, put them back together.
Yes.
Or, and hear me out on this one, we could investigate what's in there.
I could do a reconnaissance trip, Captain,
Absolutely.
and stealthily.
I like a battle at the best of times, Captain, but when there's a book saying that there's something big and bad and nasty in a locked thing for centuries, even I don't think I'm that stupid to go running into it.
But I think I'll need a rest first.
Well, as will I. So let's sit down, take a rest.
Okay.
We can have a light discussion as we do as to the
As you sit down to rest, we'll take a quick break. Just there.
Cool.
Awesome.
And Phineas has just read a message I sent him.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to use that, Phineas.
So,
Me too, because the last time I used it, you got exactly the same reaction from Klein.
right, so
I
we'll be
fucking
taking
love
a
that.
quick break, and we'll be right back. And welcome back once again to the Elusive Tide, Part 8. We've discovered something, an inky void of something. I'll hand you back
It
across to
wasn't
Jim.
me.
We'll get back into it. So you're all sat. Klein and Balkan are doing some important work building sandcastles. Aldris has just read from the book. And Quarantine, I believe were you casting Identify on the...
Yeah, I was using the monocular of identification.
Yep. What are you casting Identify on?
The rod that doesn't move.
Okay. So I'll say, as they've all been talking and Aldris has been reading, 10 minutes pass for that. It is indeed an immovable rod. And the command words for it are in Elven, Ancient Elven. The words in Ancient Elven for pause and start.
So,
I will.
if I read those out loud...
You have to be holding it to
Right, gotcha.
do that.
Okay, so I would get a good grip on it and
Yep.
say the word, start it.
Start. And it kind of comes free and you're able to lift it.
Well, there you go. An immovable rod that is now movable. But if you were to say, and then I'll hold it up slightly and say the other word,
Yeah.
the pause word.
And it locks in place.
and then I let go.
It's just
It locks
in
in
the air.
place.
Oh, right. Oh, can me and Balkan just borrow that? We can put that in the centre of one of our castles and make it our flagpole.
Maybe not. It's a bit big for that.
If you're
How can it
live,
be a castle without a flagpole?
I mean, he's got a point.
It's too
Pretty
big for a
hardened
flagpole.
pirates, you lot.
But, Captain, it might be useful for locking a wheel into place on an enemy ship.
It could be useful for many things, yes.
Indeed. And then I'll take it again and say the start word.
Yep, you have an immovable rod.
Wolf.
Anything anyone else wants to be doing as you're beginning to rest?
irresistible force. That's all you know.
So, Captain, what say you then? Are we going into a fight where I am potentially saying not to? And that's coming from me, Captain.
Where's Ilis gone?
You all do see that Eyeless is not currently within the tower with you.
Ryan, could you give me a leg up a minute?
Right, okay. Where
Onto
to?
the rocks.
Right, yes, sure.
Yep. You give Quarantine a lift. You kind of stand up, Quarantine. You see Eyeless is currently crouched by the water's edge.
I
And
will
looking-
message him. Are you okay there, Alice? You can reply.
He doesn't reply. He's focused very much on the water.
What are you doing by the water, Eyeless? Are you just meditating, or?
Yeah, so he's sort of slipped into a cross-legged position, sort of within the water, just letting it lap over, sort of come up and over his lap.
Very relaxed, meditative state. You occasionally feel a bit of seaweed kind of brush against your leg and then get carried away by the still slightly rocky currents in here, though it is starting to still and flatten.
Is there anyone we've got, Captain, what can maybe fix these runes what are broken?
Well, you say you want to fix these runes, but I still say we should investigate first. You never know. This might have been evil elves. There are such a thing. They might have imprisoned somebody who we really do want to be left out into the world. I mean, this island hasn't been exactly friendly since we've got here.
Right,
I mean,
no, but like the whole argument for me is like there's two bloody great big giants what have been guarding it.
Well,
From what you said the book said, very old ancient magic, and I don't know lots about magics, but still.
magic is just, strength of the mind. It's fine. We'll be fine.
well, if I remember correctly, Aldous was saying that the giants never spoke about what was inside to the elves, just to say that it was some great beast.
Yes. So who's to say that the giants didn't lie to the elves?
Captain, why don't I sneak inside and have a look?
It's a very good
And then
idea.
if something bad, I will sneak back out again and we will move on.
Just hold fire a second back. I'm just going to go for a quick ponder. And I'm going to head off and sort of wander back through that little path.
Okay.
As I leave, I will give Orkana a look, knowing that no one else can see her.
Which is kind of
With
hurriedly following you,
Yeah.
being pulled a little bit by the necklace.
Yeah. Oh, okay. She's still tied to me.
I
Okay.
would be following in the air at a distance just to make sure no one attacks him, as I am the bodyguard. I'll be out of hearing distance, not wanting to intrude, just there in
As you
case.
kind of step down, you can start to hear this kind of gentle singing coming from Eyeless as he's sat meditating.
Are we saying that a bit of sandcastle building and a bit of chatter is roughly a short rest time for?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Also, I'll say that you guys can have a short rest. That's perfectly fine. So, Phineas.
O'Connor, what do you know of Aldris?
I'm not certain. When we were doing work for the Floranum, we would often have to go with Our Lady, the High Mage, to get funding from the Queen. And I swear I used to see someone who looked exactly like him when we went. I don't remember incredibly clearly. I think that plant may have taken some of my memories, but something about him unsettles me. I just don't have fond memories of that vision.
He is mysterious. He doesn't seem to remember much at all. We found him on an island and invited him to join the crew, but he does seem to creep people out.
Gives me out a little. If he is who I'm remembering, then I'm surprised that he's alive.
Well, exactly. You lived, I don't know how long ago.
Well, the ruins of that tower we were just in, I vaguely recall being told of projects like this that some of the other of our magical wing were performing.
And clearly this is a prison for something.
Oh, yes.
And it's not something we should let out, I assume.
No, you should absolutely not deactivate any of the wards they have here, because the giants were doing very important things and they wouldn't have come to us for aid if it wasn't important. So I hope that you haven't disabled them.
We have already disabled them.
Ah.
How do we undisable them?
I don't think I would know. It's abjuration magic, isn't it? Not really my specialty. I dealt with plants. Sorry.
No, that's quite all right. I should have asked you sooner. As soon as we realized this was ancient Elvish. Well, if we can't undo that, what can we do? Will the golems at the door protect?
Oh, definitely. If anything tries to get out, they will try and kill it. Though you should probably assist them as long as they don't get too agitated by you being there. I've heard unfortunate things from these places. There are several of them.
Okay. So should we... the pointed up at Lack. My bodyguard up there is more than capable of getting inside the prison and having a look. Should we send him in to see if he can see.
I mean, if you wanted to, if he was confident that he wouldn't be spotted by the golems or whatever's in there.
Well, worst case, we can create a distraction for him to sneak in the back.
Yes.
I just want to get an idea of the inside, because if this creature inside there is contained by more than just the door that we've disabled, then we might just be safe to leave it as it is and touch it no further. But if the
Fortunately,
creature...
I don't really know. I only really heard about these places.
No.
Though,
Yes, of course. That's why I said we should.
I could have sworn that I was told that all of these were built on mountaintops. So,
well, it could still be a mountain, but most of it is underwater now.
Your friend is very good at singing, by the way. I recognize that song. It's very pleasant.
It is very pleasant. I've not heard him sing before. Perhaps a new duty for him on the
Is it
ship.
a new friend of yours?
Yes.
Alongside the...
Don't tell me you know him as well.
She kind of looks over him. No, not really.
Well,
Is there anything else I can help you with?
do you know if the golems can be reasoned with in any way? Or are they simple?
From what I heard, they were just simple, almost in the equivalent of elementals. She kind of looks. She kind of looked back at Eyeless. She spies the water pool. Probably of similar intelligence to the weirds that they probably have here. I recognize a weird pool.
If the creature comes out, they will, of course, engage.
Definitely.
And if we assist them, will they turn on us and fight us as well?
That I couldn't say. Their focus would probably be on the prisoner.
Well, yes. Difficult decisions. I appreciate your consultancy.
Anything I can do to help. I feel bad that, you spend all your time on the waves, and I specialize with plants and botany.
Well, that's nobody's fault, and I appreciate the guidance you can give when you.
To be honest, I will always feel indebted to you for saving me from that plant.
I wish I could give you more of a life than
It's better than
which you have.
better than nothingness. Well, if you don't need me, I might need to rest for a little bit.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Walker. You rest.
She kind of nods and fades out. You can just hear the footsteps of the golems patrolling.
So, whilst the captain is out there having this discussion, I want to talk to the rest of the people that are in here, which is presumably just.
You got the Sandcastle team and Kirkin.
Okay. So.
I'm just. Is Kirkin helping with the Sandcastles? You're muted.
You muted.
I imagine so, yes.
Yeah. So you got the Sandcastle team working diligently away. Get each of you to roll a roll. Roll. Each of you roll dexterity checks for me. I want to see how good this sandcastle is. Are any of you proficient in building sandcastles?
Yes.
Doesn't even fucking matter. Natural 20.
Add your proficiency bonus, Vulcan. I can believe that Vulcan is proficient in building sandcastles.
23, sorry.
Very nice. Kirkin?
Yeah, my role is just, picking out shiny shells and handing them over to place because I got 15, so I'm dragging the team down.
Okay. It's a pretty magnificent sandcastle, Aldous, as you kind of looked at them.
So clearly, this is the brains of the outfit right here in this room right now. So, what I think we ought to do is, obviously, whatever the captain decides, that's what we do. But of a personal nature, I think, reading this book again, there is something in there that we need to find out what it is. To find
We'll
out
just
whether...
read to the end of the book then.
Yes, I have. And it describes the beast in the building out there.
You said it was in the book.
There are words in the book. There's no beasts in the book.
Say that then.
That's what I
What?
just said.
No,
What
you
beast
didn't.
saying it is?
Just a beast. So it can't be that bad, surely.
Well, right. I know, and again, I know I'm not the smartest, the smartest here.
You are. Don't
But-
say that.
Don't drag yourself down, mate.
But like, I'm good at what I do, and I know we're all pirates, and I know we're not seen as brilliant and good through most people's eyes, right? And there's prisons made up for people who do worse things than us and all of that. But they're generally only made for bad people, right? In my head.
Well,
And when you've got two great big giant stone things guarding it,
who also tried to kill us.
right?
So ask yourself this: are the giants on our side? I don't think so. Is what is inside the building on our side? Who knows? But it's got to be worth finding out, right? Just in case there's lots of treasure in there.
Are
Right.
these rhetorical questions?
No, they're actual questions. You can answer them if you wish.
No.
Okay. Thank you for your
Right,
input,
yeah.
Morgan.
No, I get what you're saying, Aldris, but it's still like prisons are generally made for something bad, and when it's like, especially this magical one, right?
Right.
It still feels to me like if there is treasure inside, and there is a beast inside, will we still be alive to actually be able to use the treasure?
That's very, very good point.
And what's the captain said?
The captain hasn't
We don't
said
know.
anything
He's just.
yet.
I think he's gone off for a little bit of a think.
Yes. So, my point, Clyde, if you will allow. Say, for example, you were minding your own business one day, and some guards came and locked you up because you're Clyde Morrowind, the dreaded pirate. You haven't done anything wrong in this particular town, but they put you in a jail. Now, you're very strong, so they make the bars extra thick and put a magical enchantment on them, so you can't
Right.
escape. Now, are you the bad guy, or are the guards the bad guys? It's
That's a
interesting.
huge amount of conjecture there.
It is. That's a very good
But-
word. I like that.
Yeah.
Make an intelligence
That's a
saving
big
throw,
word.
Vulcan. That was a very long word for you. I'm joking.
That's all I'm saying. Is sometimes the bad guys are not who you think they are.
No, right, definitely. But I'd also be questioning. I mean, I love being a pirate. It's fucking brilliant, right?
Isn't it just? It's the best.
We're
But
pirates.
we're still pirates,
Yes, we
so
are.
it's kind of like I've done a lot of bad. To be fair, I've stole from people. I've stole from other pirates and not from pirates. You see.
Right.
So being in that and being quite strong, and being put in a magical, an imaginary magical cell,
Right.
I'd find that quite as a bit of a nod to me.
Bit of
I
a
would.
compliment, yes.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So
Theoretically, you didn't deserve to be there because they imprisoned you, not because you're the pirate, but because you are who you are.
right, yeah. But
Not for
I would
crimes,
also try.
just because you're
I would.
there.
I'd also try to escape, but then I also wouldn't try and kill everybody who was outside of it as well.
That's true.
I
But we
don't
don't
mean to be
know.
rude,
Yes.
but do you have a point?
Who?
You.
Me? Yes, we
Yeah,
should go and
he
investigate.
thinks we should go in, but I'm saying I don't think we should. But it's the
We've got to
captain.
wait for the captain.
Yeah, we
Indeed,
will do.
we were just theorising. Whatever the captain says, of course, we must follow to the
It's a
letter
waste,
of the law.
isn't it? Because you can think about this, and then the captain tells us to do something, and we have to do that.
Yes.
It's a waste of your brain power.
But it's also good to keep your brain going, so you have these conversations too.
You're saying we should just switch off until the captain comes back?
Yes.
Just be mindless.
Yes.
Okay.
No, not mindless. You could build a sandcastle.
Aldrich just shuts down immediately. So.
Yeah. He's a bit of a dick, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's quite nice, Balkan. Don't be like that. Everyone on the crew's quite nice.
He's a bit of a dick. He
No.
can't hear you because he's shut down.
Well, how do you know he's shut down? He's not just a bloody good actor, right?
He's not a good actor.
Well,
No, I'm not.
See. We should
no,
just wait to see what the captain says.
right, I know we should, but it's always good to have a discussion. I've always been told by family.
This is not a mutiny, Klein. I've just got used to this shit.
Nobody mentioned mutiny at all. The captain
You said
is
you
the
were
captain. We will do whatever the captain says because he's the captain. That's the point. We were just having a conversation.
You just agree this is pointless conversation, then?
No, I didn't say that at all.
Right, I
If
think
you're returning to the tower, you can just hear this inane conversation going on.
Yeah,
I think the castle's finished now, though, Balkan. So if we leave it, the next people who come to this island will find it too, and maybe they might add to it.
Yeah.
It's certainly a magnificent castle.
Hey, I didn't know we were pirates.
Oh, we are though. It's not a bad thing. Quite good.
Okay. Good pirates.
Good pirates.
Well, hope everything's okay over here.
Absolutely. We were discussing
No,
the
no
nature of
mutiny
evil
here,
and the
Captain.
nature of prisoners. It was an elucidating conversation.
Elucidating?
Elucidating. Enlightenment, perhaps. Or electrical. I'm not sure. One of those words begins with E.
Pointless was the word he's looking for.
Bolkin didn't like the conversation.
He was trying to instigate mutiny.
No,
I was not.
Balkan, he was not.
Oh, dear.
That is not a word you chuck around lightly, and Captain, he was not. We were just having a conversation.
We
I
were
will
having a
say that.
conversation about prisons and the legality or illegality of those that were contained within them. But we await your decision, Cap. Well, not everybody's here, though, are they?
You can still hear the faint singing, and Lack is up in the air above Phineas. Quarantine, are you still stood up on the rocks, or have you returned for this fascinating conversation?
No, I'm probably sitting down and ogling Eyeless a little bit, to be fair.
Fair enough.
And admiring the singing, of course.
Well, what I think we should do is, Lack,
Aye, Captain.
I want you to sneak in, take a look. I do not think the creature in this prison is something we want to release. So I want to find out whether there are more security measures inside that we can entrust to leave in place and leave the creature here.
What if,
So-
breaking that barrier, though, does release it, and it also means that Lack can't get back out?
That's a very good point.
It is a good point. Perhaps we should tie a rope around you, Lack, and then we can possibly pull you out. Or at least if we know it goes slack, then we'll know you're trapped and possibly coming up.
I think that will stop me flying stealthily.
Well, then Quarantine can just maintain communications with you.
Aye, Captain.
I know planning stuff like this is definitely down to you and the first mate, Captain. And I'm quite good at battles and fights and setting ourselves up and everything. But it does seem quite stupid to walk through something where you don't know what's going to happen, and one of our crew could be trapped.
And if we just leave, whatever's trapped in there, or no longer trapped in there, could just walk out at any point.
Right. Yes, I see your point.
Am I hearing any of this conversation from where I am?
What's your passive perception?
15.
15. You're hearing snippets. You kind of tuned out when it was just Aldous and Balkin, but
Captain, if I might suggest,
ahead.
Morris.
A better idea, yes.
another
Because no
goodness
offence
of
to
pets
Morris,
that I
he's
don't
a
have a token for.
no offence to Morris, he is a
He's
valued
a
member
macaw,
of this
isn't he?
crew. But if he were to perish, we
It's
can get
something-
him back,
Yes.
and you can see through his eyes.
Perfect solution.
Also, whilst you're doing that, Captain, is there anybody on the ship what could be useful to help us mend these things as well? Because I could quite happily swim back, climb over these
I-
rocks and come back with them.
Have a mending spell.
I think you might be able to mend a tablet with a mending spell, but to put the magic back into it is a different matter.
It could be a start.
PM? Would I know of any
Yeah.
mates who have
Ooh.
the arcane knowledge?
Let's have a look at the list. Alara's good with the arcane. She's a wizard. Or blade, spell blade. Perhaps Mysis, though they're more of the divine. The only members of the crew that have any kind of arcane inklings within them, outside of quarantine, are Alara, Branwyn, and possibly Janine.
Do I think that there's any chance that we could repair these seals?
Make an Arcana check for me.
Don't fuck me, D&D Beyond, please.
It will.
8.
It did.
8. You have no idea.
Should I go back and maybe get whoever could be good, Captain? Maybe, or at least ask them, see if they might be able to?
No, it's fine. Checks character sheet. I will have left Morris on the ship, but can I from here?
Yeah, the ship's not super far away. You can absolutely do that. And it will take him as long as it takes me to make this token for him and get it uploaded.
So I will then take a seat, just like plonk myself down. Eyes will just very oddly roll back into my head as I walk into Morris. And
Okay.
as Morris go and find Alara.
Okay. You can see she's kind of sat up by the wheel, just kind of disinterestedly kind of looking over at the island, waiting around.
Morris will just sort of flap down in front of her and just sort of squawk a few commands to follow.
Yes, Captain. And she walks down and kind of gets into the other rowboat and kind of does some arcane flappery, and you just watch the rowboat start rowing itself for her.
If
With a mind the attitude.
would you kind of
She
let us know
rolls
that
her
you're
eyes.
doing that, Captain?
Sorry.
Would you let us know you're doing that?
Right.
I think
Done
I
it.
just said 1 second, sat down. Or you said, do you want to go back? And I said, no need.
Right, I have put Morris in your stable for now.
Cool. Easy.
I'll just
I do
Are
love
they
the
are they
fact,
coming, Captain?
I do love the fact we've got a sandcastle in the building now.
Yeah.
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 The question that is puzzling me is why are there so many statues that resemble me here when it seems it's the elves and the giants that are doing things here?
Something I forgot to mention in the reading of the book.
Aha. Let me have another
Hold
look
on.
at this book.
Thank you.
The book
I'm
that
very
you
good at
read
this dealing.
cover to cover several times
Yes.
already. Yes.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
I may have
So just
forgotten to
hang on.
mention this.
Is
You
it
flick back to the book and realise there was a page that was kind of still stuck together from a bit of the water.
Very gently sort of pry it apart.
Though the giants were the ones to request our assistance, another group that seemed to be working with them, this Zoran, they call themselves, appeared to be insectoid-like. We've not seen them around much before. The giants vouch well for them, and a couple of them have offered services to myself. So perhaps I shall talk to the Queen of their usefulness to our realm.
Zoran.
Zoran. It's
Zoran.
a term that you remember from Mount Ver, from the mural you saw there.
So yeah, sorry about that. The pages were stuck together, so I didn't read that bit. I thought it was a bit odd when it skipped. But I just thought, sometimes things do that. They skip ahead a bit. And bits are missing, or a bit like the memory thing that, everybody else seems to have.
How do you spell that?
Zorran, I believe. Let me just check my notes.
Zorrahn.
Oh no, there's no A between the H and N. So Zorrahn. Zoran.
Yes, you can see it written down here. Say Zorr.
My memory is flawless. I don't forget things.
PM. If
Yo.
I go to there on the rocks, does it look
Where am I?
possible to the left of them?
Possible. You can pretty much clamber over the rocks from
Does it look
here.
possible from the other side that I could help Alara
I
over?
Potentially. Depends on how willing she would be. And speaking of, I just pressed the wrong fucking button.
Oops.
And lost my roll 20, so back in 12 seconds. There we go. So you see Alara arrive, and she kind of just looks around on the beach and sees you up on the rocks. You've got to be kidding me.
Probably the quickest way, and you wouldn't have to fight any giants.
Giants?
Well, giant stone things.
What hasn't the captain told me?
I
She
don't
kind
know,
of
'cause I don't
holds
know
her
what he
arms
has
out to
told
be
you. Yeah, and I'll
lifted up by you. Just make a quick strength check for me.
18.
18. Yeah, you can easily get her up.
Yeah.
All
Just to
right.
say. I mean, I could tell you what he hasn't told you, but then I don't know what he has told you. So, like, I could tell you everything again.
She just kind of shakes her head and walks through. And yes, hello, Captain. I am here. She looks over at the sandcastle and kind of nods slightly approvingly, and then turns back to your attention.
This seal, or whatever it is here, pointing at the thing. This is one of 3, 4?
4.
Technically 4.
4. Yes, this is one of 4 that we found on the island. We have broken them. There was some magic, some abjuration magic locked up.
Yeah, they are certainly broken.
Yes. What can we do, in your knowledge, about unbreaking them?
Certainly interesting. She kind of paces around it, kind of carefully stepping around the sandcastle, kind of tracing along the runes that she sees. Hold on. She kind of kneels down and kind of picks through the rubble where the in the middle where it was destroyed, and kind of she lifts up. You see this large sphere of crystal that has been cracked and broken and has gone dull. She kind of scratches stuff off her head. You said there were 4 of these, yes, Captain? Well, in order for me to restore these, I'm not going to ask why, because I don't think I want to know. In order to restore these, we probably need a solid She kind of checks the gems over. Not the best at this, but maybe 20,000 worth of diamonds and the original spellbook of the wizard who made these.
Well, we have neither of those things.
Then, unfortunately, not. Why do you want them closed? I've changed my mind. I am intrigued.
These 4 seals carried a protection for a prison cell that is in the center of this island. We have broken them and opened the prison cell, and I've decided I want to close it again.
With all due respect, Captain, that was incredibly foolish of you. But
and if it turned out to be a horde of a gold dragon, you'd be telling me I was good.
Certainly. I'm not one to judge. I probably would have tried to break them as well. But, unfortunately, not much that I can really do for you, I'm afraid.
What if? Just a question. Sorry, Captain, for butting in. But what if, there was somebody, and I'll look at Kirkin, who said that they could mend things and they could mend the crystals?
I'm familiar with the kind of magic you're referring to, and these are particularly ornate and intricate. It would be difficult to repair them. You would need new ones, and to inscribe them with the specific spell that the original caster had. I'm afraid I'm not much help here.
Right, we see. Okay.
Right, next plan then. Alara, feel free to stick around. We might need your help.
I do the best that I can.
I'll sit back down then, and eyes roll back as I take control of Morris.
Okay.
And
I have your little Morris token.
I'm going to fly in sort of up and round to the back.
Yeah.
And then keeping as low as possible, sort of lower than the wall, to then sort of pop up to come and sit on top, to get as close to the front of the door as possible before sort of just jumping off and darting in.
Okay. So Morris kind of darts in. Do you have dark vision through Morris's eyes?
I mean, it's my senses at this point, isn't it? Let's see.
I think Morris is more of a container.
Senses. Morris, himself has dark vision.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
So whether you're using my dark vision or his dark vision, all's good.
So,
Except if you're only using Morris's, then I wouldn't be able to see in magical darkness because only I can do that.
it's not magical darkness.
Okay.
So as Morris flies in, he sees this, and you see this square stone room. Along the walls are several bolted-in metal rings, some of which have chains that have been shattered and broken, hanging from them. Scattered about the room, you can see more of those dead cultist bodies, though their flesh has been eaten away and whatever was eating them has gone. And in the center, you see a large chasmous hole dug deep into the ground below. There is nothing inside this building.
Don't suppose that hole is full of water, is it?
Morris looking.
I'm going to just sort of fly Morris around, really take in everything I can. See what
cultists
shape that the hole is. Whether something sort of just burrowed or whether something is like mined it and that all that sort of detail.
Make an investigation check for me, please. And I'll say you can use your investigation check as you're directing Morris.
Good. 22.
22. It looks like it's been burrowed, and burrowed from in here, dug down.
Yeah. Kind of what I thought. Okay. Right. Well, if I've... Does it... Last question. Does it look like it's happened recently? As in us disabling the protective spell in the last hour or two, or is it prior to that?
The presence of the dead cultists inside this room imply to you that this happened potentially before you even landed on the island.
Good. That means we're in the clear.
Or does
it's
it?
Not our fault. It's not our fault. Okay. Well, if I've yeah. Okay. Well, if I've got everything I can from this, I will fly Morris out and back the way he came.
Yeah.
Was there any reaction from the golems at Morris going in?
They didn't seem to notice him.
Okay.
Okay. And as Morris flies back over, in one sort of move, I will come back to my own body, stand up, and have him land on my shoulder. Okay. Well, good news. I don't think it was us. Bad news. The creature's already escaped.
So
Then we can bring news of its escape
treasure.
to the other islands.
Do we know what it was?
Something burrowed out of that prison cell.
Right. Would I remember anything? I mean, has this book jogged my memory of any kind? Do I know
Make
of
a
these
history
kind
check.
of projects that happened? History check.
Make a history check.
Okay, I'm not great at these, but 14.
14. You vaguely remember something about giants, but nah.
I mean, should we go after it, see where it went?
Is there any sign of disturbed ground from my vantage point?
Make a perception check.
10.
10. Nope.
At some point, you'd think that rolling proper dice may be the way to go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I tried that.
It's all random.
Yeah.
All random.
Captain, from like a defensive point, and I know how stupid this might sound coming from a ship of pirates, telling people not to break these things to go into a unknown location. But defensively, right, if it's a beast, what has been said in the book, and you said it's burrowed underneath ground, which could be quite big and dangerous, right? We do need to let the other people know, the other pirates know about the islands.
Yes.
Even though it might have escaped before us, if any of them are still contained, because in my mind, the cultists are here for one reason. They want to get them out.
Completely agree.
But
Now-
the cultists here are dead.
Right,
A
yes.
couple of times over, in fact.
Well, you see, the thing with cultists is they're not very bright. They're very easily swayed. So anything with a vaguely, passingly personality, shall we say, would be able to say, let's go to that island and break into the prison and feed the big monster because our God says so. That's what cultists are all about.
And sorry, I just one question because I can't read my own writing. Are they the cultists of the Grand Hallow or
They
Hollow?
are.
Hollow.
Hollow. Cool. Thank you.
Hollow.
Quarantine.
Did you say that there were cultists inside the prison?
Yes.
How did they get in there?
Don't know.
Perhaps
they
the
dug in?
beast. Perhaps the beast, when it burrowed out onto the island, grabbed some and went back in. Who knows?
Surely we would have seen some signs of disturbed earth somewhere.
Not if it came out under the sea. We know a song about that, don't we, children?
Aye, aye, Captain.
And when we were fighting at the top of Mount Ver, something strange happened where something came out of the creature we were fighting. Something that burrowed out.
As you kind of think of it, Phineas, Quarantine, Lack, and Klein, you all kind of remember seeing. To jog your memories, because a while back, you remember fighting this large, fiery god of some kind. You remember its head splitting open and this long, white, leech-like worm reaching out and trying to bite at you.
Do you tell us that?
No, I'm just kind of talking to my gang. I'm not sure if I'm pointing in the right direction. Maybe I need to get this right.
Yeah, like that.
The original thought, I think.
The original crew, sort of vaguely to jog their memories.
Right, yes. And again, I know can only think about like battle and stuff like that. But if I were to make a connection, and this cult is called the Grand Hollow, and there's a big hollow in that there prison. And from what Aldous said about cults, about following blindly and just doing stuff they're told, what if all of these beasts, what they might be trying to escape and let loose, are the actual reason for their praise be the Lord one to escape and come back?
Well done, Clive. Perhaps you could also tell me what 2 and 2 is. Could you?
Well, 2 of what and 2 of what? Because that, like, in a recipe, it could make like a souffle or something, right?
4.
Very
Tell him
small
4.
custom.
4, Klein. Say 4.
4.
If I have 2 beans and I add 2 more beans, what does that make?
Some beans.
Some beans.
Off, Klein, I'm the chef.
Yeah,
While
right.
this discussion is
Oh,
happening,
country. Oh,
Yes,
so-
Kirkin?
sorry,
Sorry.
Martin.
No, you go.
I was going to say, while this discussion is happening, Perkin is going to get up and brush the sand off himself and just start wandering out among where we fought the cultists earlier,
I will say that the golems are patrolling that area.
giving the golems a wide berth. So
Okay.
walking through the water at like knee height, hip height, if I have to go around
Yeah.
them.
You can kind of wade around and get to this area. The golems kind
Yeah.
of stop and watch you for a little while.
Why can't one button do all of the things at once?
So, because Iris is singing in Primordial, is there any response from the golems or the puddles?
No response from the golems, but you get a strange sense that the puddle near you is
Dancing.
dancing,
And you said
kind
we
of
can
wobbling.
kind of hear it, can't we?
Yeah, you guys can kind of hear this song.
If-
You may
if
have heard
he's-
it before, especially you, Klein.
Well, I know Primordial, so I would know the words as well.
It's
You would
a
know the
song
words.
singing the grace of the moon.
Sorry, what was that, Ash?
Klein will definitely know the song.
Yeah, Klein will definitely know the song. It's a
I
song.
might not necessarily know the song, but I know the words. from what you
It's
were saying.
dedicating and singing the praises of the goddess of the moon and her grace and beauty, etc. So, Kirkin, you kind of walk around and you see these dead
Yes.
cultists lying on the ground.
I was wondering if I might do a medicine check on them to see if that does
Okay.
anything.
Make a medicine check for them, please.
13.
13. You kind of check them over, and other than the injuries they've taken from the fight you had when they were undead, you kind of inspect them and realize that a lot of their insides have been kind of dug out and eaten away. And even with that 13, you get the sense, especially the probably this one who probably died a little bit closer over here, I don't remember, seems to have a hole in the back of their head that had been burrowed in. Quite nasty.
A hollow head I was not expecting. Yeah.
You were there for the one shot I did on the back of Tide Rays.
I was, but I hadn't remembered that detail.
It's a shame that Kirkin wasn't there.
Yeah.
I would say that Ilis would recognise these cultists and these monsters. But yeah, as you're kind of looking at these and kind of seeing this, make another history check for me. We'll see if you can do better than 3.
I'd make a pithy comment, but that'd just be tempting fate. 15.
15. You, as you're kind of looking at these, it kind of jogs your memory. It's like the hollowed out mind. You remember a story that you were told by the elder. Aid the giants and beware those who have their heads devoured, for the leeches show no mercy and seek the end of all. Beware the devourer. Beware.
Nice.
And you suddenly start to understand why you were so unsettled by this island.
The Devourer has been here. Oh shit, yeah, the Devourer has escaped.
I mean, is that really a bad thing?
Do you return
Yes.
to the group and share that with them?
Oh, yes. Yes. Quite quickly. Yes. Captain?
Hmm?
In inspecting some of those that we fought earlier, I was reminded of a tale from my elders, and I believe that the creature that has escaped is known as the Devourer.
That ring any bells with?
With anyone?
Yes.
You can all make history or religion checks if you wish.
Okay.
Their minds have been eaten away.
Oh, I got a 21.
So did
I got a natural 20.
You guys are rolling well. God, I'm going to hold back my lord.
Yay! I finally rolled well.
I rolled religion, by the way, not
Yeah.
history.
18
Okay.
religion.
So let's have a look.
24, natural 20 for history.
So I'll say, Balkan, you got 18, yeah?
Religion, though.
I'll say Balkan and Phineas, the two of you kind of not really remembering Phineas. It's still bringing up that memory of the that fire myrmidon with its head splitting open with that leech coming out. But Quarantine and Lack, you two kind of think back and you remember kind of reading or overhearing at different points people talking about this cult of the Grand Hollow and talking about this god that they follow that supposedly devours people's brains and takes them over.
Ugh.
Well, at least Klein's safe.
Aldris, you have your vision kind of blurs and flashes, and you are talking to someone, and they're this kind of this elven woman in kind of like various robes with a pair of half moon glasses, and the words you hear yourself speaking are, yes, we will fund this immediately. We can't let those things get loose. The giants are right. And you're suddenly snapped back to where you were.
Okay.
And that is where we are going to finish for today.
Does the natural 20 not get anything?
What was your total?
24.
24. Was that history?
Yes.
Yeah, you hear similar things to what Quarantine and Lack heard, but you also hear that supposedly there are many of these devourers out there, and apparently one attacked the god of waters himself, Tidegrace.
Okay.
But with that sudden realization of just how terrible the thing in the box was, that's where we'll finish for today.
Hey!
Cheery fun!
Down the hole! Let's do it!
It was
Down the
so
hole.
much fun listening, watching you guys break all of the rooms and then agonize over going inside there, knowing that that room was empty.
Ah, the joys of being the DM.
Oh yes.
Also, the whole double blind of, I will give them buttons to press, and then they will find out they should not have pressed the buttons.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But then they realised that it doesn't matter if they press the buttons or not because
It was out
Yep.
anyway.
somebody had already pressed other buttons.
Imagine if you'd gotten to that book before you broke all of the rooms.
Push the button.
Yeah.
Imagine if we were all slightly more morally bankrupt, and we just went, if we just leave now, don't say anything, someone else's fault. I mean, the fault of the next person comes along.
The
I-
Just
funny,
say anyone sees guilty as we keep hearing these stories about monsters devouring the world.
the funny thing is, though, I mean, I think Aldris is potentially half right of down the hole. I couldn't give a shit with that, but as soon as the silent goes back underwater, there's about 7 people are fucked.
Well, possibly.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe. You don't know.
yes. Maybe. Well, we got a couple that can. No, we got one that can turn into like a crocodile or a turtle, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Me and Klein, we
Although
can, so,
he's still got one left, I think.
I can fly.
Several
so I
can
don't care.
swim.
yeah.
But of course, you got to get that treasure you found back. You got that lovely robe, that little statuette, and the box with the totally not broken thing inside it.
I've got
That no one can open.
a bunch of gems.
Yeah, I got a rapier, and I think was Vulcan still carrying the big two-handed mace thing.
Great axe it was.
Got
Yeah,
a
he
big
took it in
old,
his mouth as a crocodile, and then turned back in and got confused.
a bunch of those were magical when you
Mhm.
kind of once over them with detect magic
Mm.
quarantine. So,
We'll check all that out.
but yeah,
Uh,
fun.
cool, excellent.
Indeed.
Well
Yes,
done.
excellent episode. Thank you
Jade.
very much, Jade.
Yes.
Yes, thank you all very much for playing. We, of course, will be back here next Tuesday for episode 9. 9? 9.
Yeah, quickly approaching
week.
a point where you're not going to be able to count these episodes on your fingers.
I've got
That's
somebody
really
else's
lovely.
fingers. It'll be fine.
Forgotten something, Jazz?
Sorry?
Haven't you forgotten something?
Oh, of course. Do we level up?
No, you would have leveled up if you fought like a big monster, but there wasn't one inside the box. So, oh well.
That book was a monster.
It was.
It's,
Yes, it
it
was.
It nearly killed me. I mean, never mind the fact I didn't do any death saves, but totally nearly killed me.
You're very welcome.
Well, there's a lot of you, so challenge rating's a bit wonky.
Indeed. Okay, so yes, we will be back here next week on Tuesday for episode 9. Until then, if you enjoyed this episode, we thank you very much. We think you're wonderful. If you didn't, well, off you fuck, as ever. And yeah, we'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Bye.